Hello and welcome. This is the HalfWork project demo done by Hassan, Sultan, Abdul Malik, and Firas. So, talking about this project, we faced a problem that occurs and happens in today's market in this country, which is part-time jobs and freelancers. Since COVID-19 hit, a lot of people have worked and tried working as a part-time employee or have tried freelancing remotely to do certain jobs to get paid. And we have formulated our problem and defined it in 3 points. First of all, part-time employers have a rough time finding a trusted and efficient source of potential workers, since they have to use either complicated apps, complicated platforms, expensive platforms, and more. Part-time employees have issue marketing themselves and finding prospective clients. So someone who's starting out as a part-time employee, he will have issues to put himself on the market and be available for others. Using other platforms, it might be very competitive to the point that it is not fair for the job seeker. All these variables add up to a lot of wasted time and effort, which is waiting to be optimized, since the market is heavily dependent on factors which include time and money. These problems really affect the process of finding a job and finding an employee, which creates a great opportunity for us to fill with HalfWork. So our project is HalfWork is an innovative platform that helps job seekers to look and find part-time jobs that will fit their interests and expertise. Also, it helps employers to find employees that meet their qualifications and needs. So it's a platform of connection between the two. That is basically what our platform is and going to be. HalfWork is going to provide many solutions that cover the market's needs, which will reduce costs, hassle, and time needed to find quality candidates for employers, both organizations and individuals as well. Since we're giving a service for everyone related to the process of finding a job and finding an employer, we're benefiting all in this scenario. So the requirements. So the engineering approach that we took was an iterative approach, since we have found a couple of problems on the way, and it is the perfect approach when the requirements aren't clear, the time constraint was changing, and there was a lot of changes that happened. So we took an agile approach for this project. When gathering requirements, our process of gathering it consisted of brainstorming and interviews. Brainstorming came by sitting together as a group and think about all the problems that can face either the employee or the employer in the process of finding a job or finding a candidate. We wrote it down and we confirmed it, and we added more requirements by interviews. We have done interviews for HR personnel from a very known 5-star hotel and another food chain company. And we've met workers that work in the food and drink section in this market. So we did the interviews and we've gathered a lot of requirements, which shows the value of doing interviews with those who are in the interest of the field that you're attacking when you're developing any kind of project. There was many requirements that were hidden from us when we were doing brainstorming, but was shown and given an importance when an interview was done. Examples of functional requirements was register, post a job, log in, view jobs, apply for a job. Now, implementation details. Firstly, we wanted to, or at first, we wanted to implement the whole project as a React app, but due to miscommunication and time constraint that we have faced during the semester, we were forced to cut down on the requirements, the functional requirements that we wanted to implement, and change the implementation of itself from a React app to a regular website. Though to be noted that we're working on a React application that should be released next May, that will include these requirements and much more requirements that cover all the requirements that we have gathered doing interviews and whatsoever. So this is just a proof of concept kind of a project for this course. So the implementation languages and tools, we've used HTML and CSS as a front-end structuring and styling. We've used Bootstrap as a CSS framework. All the back-end operations were done using PHP, and we've used regular MySQL for managing databases. Since it's a website, the implementation view was a basic generic implementation that requires a database server, which is controlled by MySQL, and it's connected with a web server that hosts the website, which can be fetched by a browser from the client side. So the server is controlling the database, which is controlled by MySQL. All of them can be accessed via any kind of website. In the original plan, there was a React application, and it has a different implementation view, but we adjusted to this one since this is the actual current view of the implementation structure. Next, we have a walkthrough. So regarding the HalfWork website, this is the main screen that anyone would open this will find. So we're facing the login and registration. When we click on register, we need to specify if we were job seekers or employers. If we wanted to register as job seekers, we'll find these fields to be filled, which include email, full name, password, city, age, professional skills, and a place to upload our personal CV to the server. Now, these fields are different from registering as an employer. As an employer, we will have a business email, the company's name, password, and city. Skills, CV are not put it here because they do not fit this type of account. Now, the database that we have here, which is the HalfWork DB, it includes accounts table, application job relations table, and jobs table. The accounts table will have the email and password. The password is hashed, so it cannot be accessed by the admins of the website. And we have the name, city, age, skills, is employer, and CV link. Now, regarding the difference between the two, we can see that is employer is the determiner of the account type. So if is employer was 0, we'll take it as a Boolean. So if it's 0, then it's false, then it's a job seeker. If it's 1, then it's true, then it is an employer. We have a table called jobs. So we have a title, description, and city of the job. The status is a field that describes the status of the job, if it's open, in progress, or done or closed. Fortunately, we couldn't use this field to implement more features into this website. And we have poster ID. which is each one of these rows is a job post, and each job post is related to the poster, which is the employer. So in each employer's page, he will only see the jobs that he actually posted, not all jobs that are available in our database. Application job relations is a table that we wanted to use to create relations between the job posted and the applicant. And we wanted to have a rejected field. So this is a table that should have been used to memorize which applicant applied for which job and what is the status of that application. But unfortunately, again, due to time constraints, we couldn't implement the features of doing such so. Now, let's go to the main screen and try to log in. We can see here Ihsan Hani. When we go to accounts, we can see that Ihsan Hani is not an employer. So as someone who's not an employer, he will only be able to see the jobs posted inside the platform. Now, if you wanted to register or log in, as someone who is an employer, we'll use this account for example. So this is the employer's main screen. So we can view job posts, which are these. As we saw before, there is about 6 or 7 job posts, but for this employer, he only posted these job posts, so he can only see these job posts. And if we wanted to create a new job post, we will just fill the fields below. The title, the job description, and city, and we submit it, or we go to the main screen. So that is a basic walkthrough of the app. Next is testing. So regarding testing, we've found out we've created a couple of test cases here. An employer will create an account, a job seeker will create an account. We've tested both and it always worked. Employer logging in and job seeker logging in, as I showed you a minute ago. An employer posting a job, we can try that. So let's create a new job post. Let's call it demo Riyadh. We'll submit it. So the job was created successfully. When we go to view the jobs that we have posted, we can see that ours is here right now. Let's go back to the test cases. Employer viewing their job posts as I showed. Registration with an email that already exists. So let's say that someone was trying to register with an email that is already existed in the database. So let's go to registration as an employer, for example, but it works for both. So let's say we wanted, let's find an account that is an employer, which is this account, and it uses this email. So let's try to register with this email and find what's going to happen. Let's say it's like, when we try to submit, it will give us this error. The email was used before, please try another one. The next test case is logging in with a wrong password and also logging in with an account that doesn't exist. In both ways, we showed the exact same error message to make sure that hackers and anyone who wants to infiltrate the system wouldn't get a hint if he's actually on the right account, or is he just typing a wrong password and whatsoever. So let's try this out. Let's go to the main screen. So let's say that we wanted to open this account. We've entered the wrong password. It will tell us that the email password combination is wrong. Let's try to log in with an email that doesn't exist here at all. It will give us the same message. Also, if we have tried to put anything in the field of an email, we have built an HTML warning that shows that this is not an email form. And these were the tests that we wanted to create. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully you will like this project.